Oh, hey guys. Welcome back. What a year so far for intentional tech. If you're new here, my name is Jake. This is Returning Retro. I started this channel and the companion Reddit page to go along with it, basically to document my journey, what has become an adventure, being more intentional about how I use technology. The more I've been talking about devices, it's sort of shifted a little bit to where there are certain attributes a device has or doesn't have that's going to make me inclined to get my hands on it to see if it helps me returning retro. Namely, is it fun? Is it designed in a way to make you enjoy your life more as opposed to sucking you in to the web, away from real life into the virtual world? Does it help you eliminate distractions instead of create them? So if it's a device that helps you be more focused on the task that you're performing with that device, that's going to be something that catches my attention. And then lastly, and perhaps most importantly, does it help you be productive? Is it a device that is designed, purpose-built around productivity so that you can go and spend more time in the real world? It's going to get my attention. So today, we're going to talk about a device that honestly kind of checks all three of those boxes, and that is the Bigme B7. Guys, I have a confession to make. Okay, here she is. Cow! The Bigme B7, super neat device. As you may or may not know, I like to do an unboxing video. This particular one, I did the unboxing, and it was on a device that I erroneously formatted before saving the video, so I apologize. We don't have a proper unboxing on this one. This is the B7, so you'll notice here it's in a case that comes shipped with it in the box, and it comes with a stylus as well, both of which are pretty nice. I find them to be super functional. You can see here the folio case that it comes with and the stylus are both magnetized, so you can see there it still does have the rear-facing camera, which reminds me, there is no front-facing camera, and there's no biometric security of any kind. I could do with a little bit of a stronger magnet here in this. It's very easy if I just plop this on the bed for that to just come plopping right off and the stylus to go rolling, but it's also not bad. Once you get used to the power of the magnet on it, it really is quite manageable. Okay, this is the tablet itself. You can kind of see there me holding it in my hand. Let's do a comparison here. My good old Rubik's Cube side by side should give you guys a little bit of an idea of how big it is. And then a device a little bit older now, but probably still widely in circulation, is this regular sized iPhone 11. You can see here about the same height, but maybe double the width, maybe not quite double the width. I wanted to give you guys a tour of the B7 because I find it to be a little bit of an underrated device. I've really enjoyed it. I've been using it now for several weeks, kind of putting it through its paces, getting to know the software intricacies of it. One thing I will say, I don't love that the charging port is here on the left side of the device. It is USB-C, so there's that. But down here on the bottom, all you've got is a microphone. Over here on the side, nothing at all. Up at the top left, you've got, see if we can get that to focus, you've got the power button, nothing over there, and then you've got your single loudspeaker on the left. Power on the side there. When using the case, it does make it a little weird in that you have to open the case in order to charge it, but I'm sure that they did that for a reason. So let's jump in. Looking at the screen, this is with no backlight on whatsoever. So to get to the quick settings, you just swipe down from the top right hand side of the screen. Let's put it on daytime. Is that easier to see? I think that might be a little bit easier to see on the camera. So we'll just go with that. Now to give you the other options, you can see there's the night, which dims it quite a bit, and then there's bedding, which dims it a lot, and I'm sure on the camera you probably can barely even notice that that is illuminated at all, but it is, and it's actually very nice to use that when you're in a completely dark room, even compared to night. The night setting gets a little bit bright, but we'll put it on daytime for here. This is one of the two default desktop environments that you can have this in using the built-in launcher. Now, I'll tell you right now, you can go in and put on your own custom launcher. I used Nova. It's a pain. You have to disable a bunch of stuff, enable a bunch of stuff, and the gesture navigation, which you will see here momentarily, is the primary navigation form on this. still, when you use that, reverts to the built-in launcher. Definitely some work to be done there from Bigme's side, if that's something they decide they want to let the end user use their own launcher in a little bit more of a seamless way. But that's a software fix, so I think that's something that is very easily done. However, after using it for a little while, this software setup really did grow on me. Let me show you the other one here really quickly. So if you swipe down, quick settings, and then you go to the main settings. Now, I will note this here is the Bigme settings. Many of it crosses over into the Android settings, not all of it though, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So if you see here on the left, there's home screen style. You can have what they are calling office style or tablet style. We'll click on tablet style here just so I can show you what that looks like. Takes a minute, and here you go. It's going to be a little bit more of your traditional tablet style. However, I didn't really like it that much. It doesn't give you the option for an app drawer. It just throws everything on the desktop, and it doesn't give you, that I could find, again, folks, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you know something I don't here. I didn't find a way that you could do any type of alphabetical list ordering of any kind. It's just you put it where it is. When you add a new one, it just adds it onto there in the end of the sequence. Not my favorite, but some people might find that they actually really like it. So let's just jump back in, go over to home screen style, switch back to office style, confirm. Now, one thing that I will say that has been pretty cool talking about the software is, like I said, I've had this for a few weeks now. In that time, I believe Bigme has pushed out 3, definitely 2, for certain 2, but I think that there have actually been 3 software updates that they have done, multiple bug fixes, security patches, so on and so forth. So that's been pretty neat to see that they are supporting it actively from a software standpoint. But going back here to the tablet, okay, so over here on the left in this style, this is kind of like, I would call it almost like your dock. Like if you had, Windows or Linux or even Mac OS, your dock. Here, you can come in and select a number of main things that you're going to be using quite frequently, and you can put them over here. So I've got my App Center, so I can see all the apps that I have on my device right there at hand. You've got your calculator, navigation ball, notes, storage, and again, there are multiple things that you can add there to that if the default one doesn't have the ones that you would need. Let me show you how you can do that right now. So we're going to go back into settings. We're going to go over to, you'll see the home screen style. When you have the office style selected, you'll see this little option here, menu manage. That doesn't exist when you have it selected on tablet style. So menu manage here, it has a list of supported apps and settings, and you can see we can scroll through here that you can add right to that dock on the main screen. Let's say, for example, I wanted File Commander. That's my File Explorer app of choice right there. I'll do that. I'll exit out, swipe up from the bottom to go home, and you'll notice it added it right there. Pretty cool. You noticed I swiped up from the middle. This is a good time to talk about the gesture navigation. So we're going to go into this menu. We're going to scroll. Over here, you'll see gesture settings. Go right there. It gives you a list of things that you can choose to enable or disable. One thing, I don't use it, so I don't have it enabled right now, but you can actually turn on side swiping to do certain things. So for example, if we click on it here, you can have swiping up and down from the left will change the volume, change the warm light, change the cool light, and so on. So here are your gesture settings. But Jake, what about the button nav? I hear you. And this is something that unfortunately, and I actually did email them about this, and they said, cool, thanks. We'll send it over to our research and development team. There is no way to enable the traditional Android nav buttons. They don't have it. However, what they do have is something that is really close. If we go home, swipe down, this little guy right here, the floating ball. I don't know why here in the quick settings they call it the floating ball, but here in the dock, when you enable it, it's called the navigation ball. Either way, it is referring to the same thing, and that is this little guy right over here off screen. You can see it gives you your classic nav options in that we've got home, which we're already home, so that's not going to do anything. The recent app switcher, just go back, and a couple of custom ones that I have added to it. This one here is the screen refresh, and then this right here is actually going to pull up my e-ink center. Really cool. It's one of my favorite things that Bigme does with their software. It lets you, on a per app basis, assign which profile you want to be active for the e-ink settings per that app. So as you can see here, this is the settings app that I just jumped into, but I already have it configured to video. But let's just change it to magazine, which is going to be the crispest, the highest quality, but also the slowest refresh. It's going to go much slower. By comparison, if we go back into it, change it over to video, close out of it, you'll see much better. Now going back to the navigation ball, this is where if you go into the settings, you can customize what it is that shows up there. So as you can see, I've only got 6 of the available 9 keys assigned to things, but you can go all out, or you could even reduce ones if you wanted fewer than that. I find it pretty handy. I've got my Google Messages app. Oh, wait, why do you have Google Messages? Because this is really neat, guys. This has a SIM card tray and an SD card tray, and it's not just data only. Calls and texts are supported, including the beloved RCS texting. Really cool that they've included that. A couple of other things that I wanted to go over here really quickly. Spotify works. Let's see what else. Bluetooth headsets work. No headphone jack, unfortunately, but you can go in and tune the volume buttons to different things as well. I haven't personally because the e-reader app that I use, as you guys may remember, ReadEra Premium, it has it built in. Let's open it right up, and you guys can probably already see right there all of that artifacting. So if we just do a quick little refresh, makes it really nice. But yeah, this one has it built into where if I'm pressing, you can see here the volume down, it's going to be turning the pages, volume up, going to go back. But the settings themselves, so if we go here, we go to the settings, they have it under the page up, down key. So right now I have it set to be the default, the volume. If you don't want it to use the volume, you don't have to have it. You can change it to be the directional pad left or right, or you can just have it be the page up, page down. The stylus. You can calibrate your stylus. Let's bring that over here really quickly. I just want to show you something really cool about it that is really fun for me personally. I'm going to pull up this post that I made recently in our e-ink. So we want to go, I've got Gboard installed. Gboard didn't come with it, but you can really easily install it. Change it over to handwriting input, and we can just go right here to google.com. And I will say that it does a really good job at recognizing the text. One thing I definitely wanted to show you guys is show you how to access the Android system settings versus just those that are what I call the Bigme settings. So from the desktop of the device, like I mentioned, swipe down from the top right. If we go to settings, this brings open, again, what I call the Bigme settings. It is not the full Android settings. I'll show you that right now. So from here, just from your desktop, scroll down, click the settings button, and you will find over here on the left, if we scroll down, you will see this little app tile. Click on that, and then go to the application list. This is also where you could change your default apps if you wanted to. If you go to the application list, you'll see here it will populate everything, and then down here on the bottom, it shows we've got 5 pages worth of applications. So I'm going to scroll over until we get to the settings. So you'll tap on that, and it will give you the app info screen for settings, at which point you would just press open. And here you go, the traditional Android settings app. What are my thoughts on the Bigme B7 so far? Well, I like it. It is a really cool device. I personally like to think of devices in terms of what they have as opposed to what they lack. And so the Bigme B7, is it going to be a powerhouse device? Not necessarily. The processor isn't quite as snappy or as powerful in terms of performance as even compared to, say, the Bigme Highbreak Pro, let alone some of the other devices out there. But what it does offer is a very neat, well-rounded experience in if you want to device that gives you a lot of functionality but has some built-in friction or some built-in maybe guardrails to help you stay focused. And maybe that's the best way to think about it, my friends. This is an e-reader that does great with books, that has a lot more that you can do. If you want your e-reader to also have the ability to have your primary phone number, calling, texting, web browsing, some of that extra stuff, as well as the core e-reader functionality, this is going to be a great device. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. What a great year for intentional tech. I mean, from all of the different physical QWERTY devices that are coming out to e-ink, e-paper devices like this, I think that it is so great that we, in this middle space where we're not quite mainstream tech users, we're also not full digital minimalists either. We like to have a little bit more functionality. I think that this is the year of intentional tech. I am super glad to be here for it, and I'm glad you guys are here with me as well. If you haven't already, go check out the Reddit page. We've also started an Instagram. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more experimental, but you can go check it out if that's interesting to you. Thanks again for being here, guys. We'll see you in the next one.